How's it flying, guys? This is Lance Corporal Block 30, going down the back down the line of requests. Tomorrow, or at least tomorrow at the time of recording, so Saturday when this is released, I'm going to be doing a continuation of my Pokemon Sword live streams, and yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to say. And also at the time of recording, still no new requests being accepted. December, I'll take in a few Christmas related videos. But seeing as I still got a lot to catch up on, guys. I still have a lot to catch up on. I didn't get anywhere near done this month that I wanted. So, I'll take the first, I want to say the first 10 Christmas related requests I'll take for the month of December, and then I'll just try to space them out accordingly while still trying to finish off Pokemon Sword as a live stream. But yeah, I apologize about that, but I can't be cranking out things every day. I don't want to burn myself out, you know? But anyways, we're going to be reacting to How to Trap Your Enemies 48 Laws of Power from Bandit Incorporated. I've never seen this channel before, at least I don't think I have. I think it was Sad Lobster 1. I could be wrong on who requested this. I could be wrong, but I'll be corrected if that's the case. Yeah. So this is something different, obviously, than what I normally look for in things to react to. I normally like to react to things that'll make me laugh, but it's also fun learning about something interesting once in a while. So we're gonna go ahead, get into this. Link to the original video will be in the description. As with all of my reactions, make sure that you have seen the original before you watch me react to it. That link is there for a reason, guys. Please click on it. So let's go.
Deception is always the best strategy, but the best deceptions require a smokescreen to distract people's attention from your real purpose. And no one did this better than Haile Selassie. In the mid-1920s, the powerful warlords of Ethiopia were coming to the realization that a young man of the nobility named Haile Selassie, also known as Rastafari, was outcompeting them all and nearing the point where he could proclaim himself as their leader, unifying the country for the first time in decades. Most of his rivals could not understand how this wispy, quiet, mild-mannered man
I also
had
just
been
love
able to
learning about
take
history,
control.
too.
Yet in 1927, Selassie was able to summon the warlords one by one to come to Addis Ababa to declare their loyalty and recognize him as leader. Some hurried, others hesitated, but only one, a warlord by the name of Bulcher, dared to defy Selassie totally. Bulcher was a blustery man and a great warrior, and he considered the new leader to be weak and unworthy. Finally, Selassie, in his gentle but stern way, commanded Bulcher to come. The warlord decided to obey, but in doing so, he would turn the tables on this pretender to the Ethiopian throne. He would come to Addis Ababa at his own speed and with an army of 10,000 men, a force large enough to defend himself, perhaps even start a civil war. Stationing this formidable force in a valley 3 miles from the capital, he waited, as a king would. Selassie would have to come to him. Selassie did indeed send emissaries asking Bulcher to attend an afternoon banquet in his honor. But Bulcher was no fool. He knew history. He knew that previous kings and lords of Ethiopia had used banquets as a trap. Once he was there and full of drinks, Selassie would have him arrested or even murdered. To signal his understanding of the situation, he agreed to come to the banquet, but only if he could bring his personal bodyguard, 600 of his very best soldiers,
600,
all
dude,
armed and ready to defend him and themselves. To Bulcher's surprise, Selassie answered with the utmost politeness that he would be honored to play host to such
Just
a
okay.
On the way to the banquet, Bulcher warned his soldiers not to get drunk and to be on their guard. When they arrived at the palace, Selassie was his charming best. He deferred to Bulcher, treating him as if he desperately needed his approval and cooperation. But Bulcher refused to be charmed. and he warned Selassie that if he did not return to his camp by nightfall, his army had orders to attack the capital. Selassie reacted as if he was hurt by this mistrust. Over the meal, when it came time for the traditional singing of songs in honor of the Ethiopian leaders, he made a point of allowing only songs honoring the warlord Balcha. It seemed to Balcha that Selassie was scared, intimidated by this great warrior who could not be outwitted. Sensing the change, Balcha believed that he would be the one to call the shots in the days to come. At the end of the afternoon, Balcha and his soldiers began their march back to the camp amidst cheers and gun salutes. Looking back to the capital over his shoulder, he planned his strategy. How his soldiers would march through the capital in triumph within weeks, and Selassie would be put in his place.
I assume that's not how it happened.
Or death. When Balcha came inside of his camp, however,
gonna call
he
it
saw
now.
that something was terribly wrong. Where before there had been colourful tents stretching as far as the eye could see, now there was nothing. Only smoke from doused fires. What was going on? A witness told Balcha what had happened. During the banquet, a large army, commanded by an ally of Selassie, had stolen up on Balcha's encampment by a side route that they hadn't seen. This army had not come to fight, however, knowing that Balcha would have heard a noisy battle, and hurried back with his 600-man bodyguard. Selassie had armed his own troops with baskets of gold and cash. They had surrounded Balcha's army and proceeded to buy every last one of their weapons. Those who refused were easily intimidated. Within a few hours, Balcha's entire force had been disarmed and scattered in all directions. Realizing his danger,
3D chess
Balcha
right there.
decided to march south with his 600 soldiers to regroup. But the same army that had disarmed his soldiers blocked their way. The other way out was to march to the capital, but Selassie had sent his army to defend that. Like a chess player, he had predicted Balcha's moves and had checkmated him. For the first time in his life, Balcha surrendered. To repent of his sins of pride and ambitions, he agreed to enter a monastery. Balcha's last words as he entered the monastery were, "Do not underestimate the power of Teferi. He creeps like a mouse, but he has jaws like a lion." Throughout Selassie's long reign, no one could quite figure him out. Ethiopians liked their leaders fierce, but Selassie, who wore the front of a gentle, peace-loving man, lasted longer than any of them. Never angry or impatient,
I would
he
assume
lured his
so.
victims with sweet smiles, lulling them with charm and obsequiousness before he attacked. In the case of Balcha, Selassie played on the man's wariness, his suspicion that the banquet was a trap, which in fact it was, but not the one that he expected. Selassie's way of allaying Balcha's fears, letting him bring his bodyguard to the banquet, giving him top billing there, making him feel in control, created a thick smokescreen, concealing the real action that was happening 3 miles away.
Also, I don't know if this guy's gonna say it, but even if there had been some kind of battle, it's still 10,000. It's not quite 10,000 men anymore, but there's still 600 less of that 10,000. So even if there had been a battle, even if it was heard and what, yada, 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 but I don't know if that would have mattered in the end, but I'm sure it would have helped.
The paranoid and the wary are often easy to deceive. If you win their trust in one area, you have a smokescreen that can blind them in another. Properly set up, the smokescreen is a weapon of great power. It enabled the gentle Selassie to totally destroy his enemy without even firing a single bullet. Well, I hope you enjoyed
now
this,
that's
guys.
extremely
This was an
impressive
excerpt from
right
one
there.
of my favorite books, which is The 48 Laws of Power. There's so many great stories and great lessons to be learned in The 48 Laws of Power. I put a link in the description below if you want to check out the audiobook. I highly recommend you have it. I have it. I listen to it all the time. And if you guys would like me to do more of these type of videos, sort of animating the lessons from The 48 Laws of Power, just say so in the comment section below and I'll be more than happy to do that. I am Bandit. This is Bandit Strategy. And until next time, I will see you guys in the comments.
Well. Well. That's interesting. It's very interesting. One, I learned a bit of history. Two, I learned an important tactic. So, yeah, that's not happening anytime soon, but we'll see in the future. But yeah, that's a really interesting way, and he's right. The way the guy did it was he played that person like a fiddle. He knew how the guy would react based on his track record and just overwhelmed him without even needing to hurt anyone. That is an excellent strategist right there. And I've got one more of these to react to. One of these how to trap your enemies on Vlad the Impaler, which should be interesting history to learn as well. And no, Vlad the Impaler was not a vampire. That's, I don't know. So, but yeah, this was interesting. I always love learning about history, and this seems like an interesting part of history that I wouldn't mind reading up more on later. But anyways, on to you guys. What do you guys think of this? Let me know in the comments down below. Like if you enjoyed. Comment what your thoughts on this one was. Subscribe if you're new, and tap the bell to get notified whenever I upload a video. That way you don't miss any reactions, gameplay, or otherwise from me. And also go check out my Discord. Link is also down in the description. Come join. We'll talk, post memes, videos, music, and just have some fun. This has been Lance Corporal Hawk 30, signing off.